Hello everybody. In this game against Miami, the Warriors sat all of their starters, built a 19-point lead, and then blew a 19-point lead. It didn't look good, but somehow the Warriors were clinging to a 6-point lead late in the fourth quarter. For a split second, Kevon Looney is distracted, and Duncan Robinson makes a very nice cut. This sets off alarm bells. Looney's trying to recover. Kaminga rotates. I think he's pointing, saying, yo, this man is open. So now Duncan Robinson is drawn two. This man is cutting to try to lock in the advantage. Not fast enough though. Looney does a good job rotating back. GP2 sticking to this man, and Looney is now recovered to Jimmy Butler. At this point, there's only 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Bam has to make his move. GP2 plays big even though he's small, and he just does enough to distract Bam on this. Steve Kerr has been asking Kaminga to run fast because he can outrun most of the league, and right now he was the one who switched on to Duncan Robinson. So if he just runs super fast, then Duncan Robinson has to follow him, which Kaminga is super happy about, so he just backs in and posts up Robinson. Poole finds him right away, and Kaminga is just going to go to work. Robinson is pretty tall, but Kaminga can just push past Robinson to the basket. Adebayo is creeping over, looking like he wants to help out. Kaminga, with beautiful instincts here, spins the other way and then just uses leverage to get around Robinson. And now he's got inside position. No one can stop him unless there's this spectacular block over the top, but he goes fast. So it was looking like the Warriors would just go to this Kaminga mismatch. The Miami Heat had trouble stopping Kaminga all game, except for the ticky-tack fouls. Jimmy Butler drives fast. Kaminga meets him. There is a certain amount of contact, and the referee decided that this was a foul. Pretty soft foul, if you ask me. And that's it for Kaminga. And it looked pretty bad for the Warriors, losing their main interior presence. GP2 running to get back into the play. Kevon Looney knows what's going on, and he tells Payton that he has to be on this side of the court. Wiggins feeds Poole and threatens this give-and-go dribble handoff. It's all distraction. The real action is over here, where the Warriors run their standard triple split. In the triple split, there's always someone who cuts to the basket and someone who pops out and gets a pin down screen to pop out. There's the cut, and here is the pin down. Duncan Robinson should be following Damion Lee over the screen, but instead he decides I'm going to meet him on the other side under the screen. Robinson can't get around Looney's screen, and Damion Lee with one of his biggest shots today. This is an interesting play because of Looney's subtle gravity. Now you might say, what kind of gravity does Looney have? He's not going to beat you with the jumper. So he's kind of cut across the court, and you might think, why should this defender honor this cut? Well, it's because he might come over here and set a pin down for Andrew Wiggins. So you can't completely ignore Looney. It's enough to get Adebayo moving with Looney towards this side of the court, and Jordan Poole blows by defense at the point of attack here. And Lowry is the only man who can rotate to stop this drive. He's doing his typical thing of trying to draw a charge. You see he's getting ready to launch himself into orbit backwards. And Poole hits GP2, who's open because Lowry was officially guarding him. Half-hearted, maybe a little more than half-hearted, three-quarter-hearted closeout on GP2, who calmly cans the huge three. This is the play, I call it the ambush pick and roll. Looney appears to be setting a screen, but in fact someone else, in this case Damion Lee, is going to set a screen on the blind side. But I think they are picking on Duncan Robinson, who is guarding Damion Lee. Just so there's no mistake, Damion Lee flashing the thumb behind him. The Warriors' universal signal of come hitch a ride on my screen. Robinson trying to switch this, but he doesn't seem to realize the danger he's in because Poole is very much in his range, and he's not closing out with a Steph Curry-like urgency, and so he gets Steph Curry-like results in his face. The Warriors run the same play again. It's the ambush pick and roll. Here is Wiggins threatening to set a screen. You know, Wiggins, for all his talents, is not a real good actor. He doesn't even act like he's going to set this screen. You'd think he could, wave his arms a little bit or yell, hey man, I'm going to come set a screen for you. But no. There, that's the extent of Wiggins' acting. All right, I've done my duty. I'm out of here. Damion Lee ready to set the screen. Jordan Poole try to go away from the screen, but this is good defense just to cut this off. Poole is just going to pivot to say, all right, just kidding. I actually was going to use the screen after all. Damion Lee forces the switch with this nice slip. Says, okay, hey, someone guard me. Otherwise, he would just have a layup here. So now we've got Poole ISO'd on the victim of the day, Duncan Robinson. The Heat have seen enough of this matchup, and they've got PJ Tucker stepping up, trying to be coy about it, but you can see he's maneuvering his way to trap Poole. Poole sees it coming. Clean bounce pass to Andrew Wiggins, who Tucker had just been guarding, so he's pretty darn open. Tucker is trying to recover to Wiggins, but Bam is already here. Who is open right now? We already have these two defenders zoning up Looney, GP2, and Damion Lee had been over here, but he doesn't want 2 to be able to guard 3. So he gets out of the way and he cuts to make himself open. And just in case Andrew Wiggins doesn't see that Damion Lee is cutting to the open space, GP2 is getting the hang of this. He's become a signpost and he's pointing, hey, in case you're curious, Andrew, the open guy's over there. So a good little pass. D. Lee can now pull up for the short shot, and he gets a foul. Floppy look from him, but it did get the call. I questioned this play call. The Heat just set up a straight ISO Adebayo against Looney with space. Adebayo tries a hesitation move and makes the mistake of putting the ball where Looney can get his arms on it, and Looney just reaches out and just grabs the ball away. Poole, getting a little tired of getting double teamed, decides, hey, things are all mixed up in transition. I'm just going to blow by Lowry and take my chances. Unfortunately, PJ Tucker is there with the sharp rotation, and Poole, instead of waiting for GP2 to cut, or he could have thrown a lob here, he goes for a very hard floater. The Warriors get a switch, Poole getting guarded by Bam Adebayo on the perimeter. He likes this. Poole is going to try to drive this way. Heat send PJ Tucker around Poole's blind side to trap him. So Tucker's just going to have a clean shot at Poole here. No one yells out to warn Poole about the double team. PJ Tucker with a light bump on Poole, which jostles the ball free and off of Poole. Poole's going to turn to his team and put his hands over his ears, saying, hey, you got to tell me when that double team's coming. Ears, 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 ears. And then, like, what's up with that? Wiggins was the man who Adebayo was guarding. Damion Lee is explaining to Wiggins that if your man leaves you like that, you got to yell double or let Jordan know he's getting double teamed. All right, I don't know about this play call. This does not seem like a high percentage play for Wiggins to ISO Jimmy Butler with Tucker and Kyle Lowry behind him. Wiggins, hey, drive past, do a spin move and get to the rim. I mean, sometimes it works, you know? This is a cool little action Miami does. It's kind of like a instant hammer mix. Butler's just going to dribble towards the corner and then throw it to Adebayo, who's going to do a quick handoff to Lowry and set a screen for Lowry while Lowry cuts behind. It's guarded pretty alertly by Looney, who is stepping up to contest this. Butler doesn't stay still. He comes in and gets inside position on Wiggins, and Lowry gets up in the air looking like he's going to shoot, getting this pass through. That is such a delicate pass. D. Lee helping in off the weak side corner. The Butler gets his attention and then throws the pass over. PJ Tucker made a living off of making exactly this shot. The Warriors just get lucky. The Heat get mixed up on defense. Adebayo is pointing around saying, hey, should I be taking Looney or should I be covering GP2? And he's asking PJ Tucker. And GP2 does something good, which is he just runs really fast. He cuts hard to force the Heat to make a decision. Look, he's literally a blur in this frame. And so Adebayo says, wait, do I take him or not? I think Tucker first wanted him to pick up GP2, but now that he sees that GP2 is cutting to the corner, Tucker says, I got this. You've got to cover Looney. It's not a big deal, right? Because Looney definitely cannot hit a 3. But Looney makes it a big deal because he's going to come over and screen. There's all kinds of pointing. You see Butler is pointing to Adebayo saying, you got to take Looney. And Tucker, I think, is using his mouth to say, yo, man, you got to go cover Looney. So Adebayo is stepping up. Looney is definitely going to nail Lowry with this screen. And so Poole is going to be completely open unless Jimmy Butler rotates. So I don't think this is a planned double team. It just was a defensive screw up. Poole was pretty ready for a double team coming, and he just whips it over to Andrew Wiggins. There's no one on this entire sector. He's got this whole part of the galaxy all to himself. This poor guy, Oladipo, does try the whole I'm going to close out to you and then turn around and run to cover Damion Lee in the corner. But Andrew Wiggins says, nah, I'm just going to shoot this in your face. Kabang. And that is game. Look, Andrew Wiggins, this is good shooting. Holding the follow through. Yeah, still holding it. Yeah, Damion Lee coming over saying, maybe you want to hold that follow through for another 5 seconds. Andrew Wiggins says, sure. He keeps his follow through as D. Lee gives him a chest bump. Let's do a quick audit. We've got Moody. He's got 3 fingers up and then making a loop with his thumb. This is acceptable. And he's got the double OK threes. That's acceptable. Klay Thompson also with some OK threes here. All right, this is acceptable. Good look. He's got more of a upright stance on the OK threes. I can accept that. And wait, what is going on here? Nemanja, I knew it was Nemanja Bjelica. We've discussed this before. He's throwing up the 1 finger, and I don't think that's acceptable. He's got this weird number 1 look, and he's got to coordinate, because either it looks like he's saying, yeah, you shot the 1-pointer, which makes no sense, or he's suggesting Klay is celebrating, hip hip hooray, we're number 3. No one would celebrate being number 3. I know that Nemanja has been playing really well the last couple games, but this is definitely an area that he's got to improve.